Complaints kept quiet. Investigations that could leave you in the dark about your doctor. Last night we showed you it can take up to a year for the Texas Medical Board to close a case and make doctor misconduct public. But as KXAN investigator Jody Barr reports, lawmakers had a chance to improve the system just last year.
Right, Robert, but they did not. So we're working to get answers from elected officials in charge of the state's public health, because any of us could be a patient, like this 26-year-old woman who had no idea when she went under the knife her doctor was under investigation.
Which one? I don't know.
Caitlin Duvall was just 1 week shy of her 27th birthday.
It was her birthday gift and her graduation gift, she said, to herself.
But days after having a cosmetic procedure, she was dead. An autopsy shows Caitlin died as a result of complications of a cosmetic surgical procedure, developing a toxic shock-like syndrome. At the time, her doctor, Lawrence Broder, was under investigation from a surgery he performed in 2016. A doctor fired by Broder had filed a complaint with the medical board. Broder denies all allegations, responding to that complaint, saying it contains numerous misstatements, assuming facts not in evidence, erroneous conclusions, and taking as truth the comments of former employees and business partners who were terminated and actively involved in civil lawsuits against Dr. Broder. He's now filed to have 2 allegations in the complaint dismissed, and nearly 2 years later, the case is still ongoing. Meanwhile, under Texas law, Broder is permitted to continue practicing.
If the information that we know today we had known, we would have done everything in our power to stop her from going for this procedure.
It's horrible. I mean, you feel like you contributed to your child's death.
The complaints become public only after the board finishes investigating and if it finds the claims have merit. We discovered that typically takes about 300 days on average. Do you believe the state of Texas did enough to not only protect the general public, but to protect your daughter specifically?
No, I think the Texas Medical Board is structured to protect the physician.
And if they were going to err, they would err on the side of protecting the public, not the side of protecting the doctor.
Last year, lawmakers assessed the Texas Medical Board under the state's sunset review process. The recommended priorities included a list of 6 items, none of which dealt with investigation timelines. Leading that process, House Public Health Committee member Cindy Burkett. She would not agree to interview with us, so we tracked down her chief of staff. Is she aware of the amount of time it takes to close investigations?
Yeah, I think that the state has a great review of state agencies. But like I said, I think that someone who is currently on sunset is the most appropriate to address those issues.
Even though she just handled every bill that came out of the recent sunset.
If it really truly is that long, that does seem kind of long to me, and that's something maybe we should look into.
Representative Tom Oliverson, a doctor himself, holds a seat on Burkett's committee. Oliverson says doctors deserve a fair shake during investigations, but the public needs to be protected as well.
It's certainly a question worth asking, and it's worth investigating.
We know that nothing we can do here is going to bring Caitlin back. The only reason why we do this is for other people. I mean, that's why we're talking to you. There's nothing else we can get out of it, but if it helps somebody else, then it's been worth it.
She was wanting to get into Austin politics, so I guess this is her attempt.
Jody, we understand the Texas Medical Board will undergo another review by the legislature in 2019.
Robert, it will, and Representative Oliverson told me he's planning to look into the length of the board's investigations at that time. I'll be tracking those developments and we'll bring them to you.
All right, Jody, thank you. The State Medical Board disciplines doctors multiple times a year. Our analysis found the board's disciplined 15 different Austin doctors in the past 2 years alone. It's a much larger problem statewide, where the board's disciplined 510 different medical professionals in the last 2 years. How can you search for complaints against Texas doctors? Find a link to the medical board at KXAN.com. Remember, complaints become public only after the board finishes investigating and if it determines the claim has merit.